If he wants to lose out on a bunch of money and make his wife angry, like that's Harry's prerogative. But it's the delusions and the narcissism and the ego fueling this. This is not logical.
Developing today, growing concerns about Prince Harry's latest courtroom fiasco after he was ordered to reveal any payments to witnesses in his case against the Daily Mail. I'm going to take you through the story, then we'll get analysis with Brittany from the Royal News Network. It is worth pointing out, of course, that this story was thrust off the front pages because of the news of Prince Harry's and Meghan Markle's team meeting with King Charles's team in that not-so-secret peace summit in central London. Very conveniently timed, because it didn't just throw Catherine and William at Wimbledon off the front pages, it also threw this, I think, courtroom catastrophe off the front pages too. Because let me tell you, I think Prince Harry is in trouble when it comes to this lawsuit. I don't think he realizes what David Sherborne has got him into. And just like he had to capitulate and settle with Rupert Murdoch, I see a similar thing happening here. But let me take you through the reporting. This from the Daily Telegraph that writes, the Duke of Sussex has been ordered to reveal to the High Court any payments or inducements made in return for evidence in his claim against the Daily Mail. Associated Newspapers, the publisher that owns the Mail, is accused of carrying out or commissioning unlawful activities such as hiring private investigators to place listening devices inside cars, blagging private records, burglaries to order, and accessing and recording private phone conversations. The publisher denies the allegations made by a group of high-profile figures, including the Duke, Baroness Lawrence, Elizabeth Hurley, Sir Elton John, Sadie Frost, and Sir Simon Hughes. Instead, they claim that incentives were offered or paid by researchers working for the claimant's legal team, including a £5,000 a month deal with a private investigator called Gavin Burrows. In a ruling handed down on Friday, Mr. Justice Nicklin criticised the inconsistent and incoherent approach made by the claimants to providing such evidence, declaring their explanations unconvincing. He said there were serious questions to be answered about the status of the claimants' research team, particularly the documents they held and whether there had been adequate disclosure. The Duke of Sussex is said to have sent a text message to Baroness Lawrence, alerting her that information had come to light that she would want to know about, prompting her to join the legal action just a few months later. But Brittany, looking very closely at this case, it is clear that the judge is yet again horrified by the total lack of private communication. And remember, in Prince Harry's previous legal dramas with the Daily Mail, all of those text messages went conveniently missing with the author of Spare, the ghostwriter of Spare. And in this case, again, all of these messages just happen not to exist. But at the end of the day, it's highly dodgy territory when you're looking at paying witnesses. And why on earth is Prince Harry getting involved in directly messaging Baroness Lawrence, who had, remember, worked with the Mail for years and years and years after the murder of her daughter, Stephen Lawrence, to turn her against the newspaper? I'm sorry. Even if all of this is totally legal, Brittany, it's dirty, it's dodgy, it's unnecessary. It's all about his personal bid to take away freedom of the press in the United Kingdom, to shut down individual journalists. Remember, he tried with me. He's failed because I'm independent and louder than ever. But Piers Morgan, who he wants to get locked up, he's doing it with the Daily Mail now. What do you think of this case, Brittany? Because to me, I think, what the hell are you doing, Harry? Why would you want to be mired in something so dodgy, so unbecoming of a member of the British royal family, even if we wish he weren't? If you're enjoying what we're doing here on Outspoken, please consider joining our thriving community over on Substack, www.outspoken.live. You can sign up completely for free, but Substack is so important to me. It is a free speech platform. It protects me from big tech cancellation. Plus, you get to communicate directly with me. Head on over www.outspoken.live, enter your email address, and sign up today.
Yes, when I look at this case, it almost makes me laugh because Harry is trying to sue the Daily Mail, essentially the Associated Newspapers, for, spying on people, and yet he is also paying somebody to gather information on people. So it's like the parallels are almost ridiculous. The hypocrisy is just entirely clear. But when I look at this case for Harry and basically any of his court cases, Harry is a man who is just angry and bitter at the world. And he fails to recognize in so many ways that he is the problem for his own mess. He is the orchestrator of his own demise. But I think in Harry's mind, he thinks if he can pursue all these court cases and bring something to light when it comes to the British press, because I mean, a lot of these allegations are years, if not decades old. He thinks he's going to fix his situation now. And that's just not the case. It's sort of diluted on so many levels for Harry to even think that. But I feel like he's trying to solve his personal dilemmas and problems via the British press through these various lawsuits. And it's just not going his way. It's not going well. And at the end of the day, Harry is only draining his own bank account to, I think, the glee of his lawyers.
And to the horror of his father, Brittany, of course, because remember, at this peace summit, Charles's team via Tobin Andre would have raised a whole number of issues. So, of course, first and foremost, stop slagging off the royal family. Stop revealing information about my principal, King Charles's cancer diagnosis. But secondly, the conversation would have moved to the legal cases, the ongoing legal cases, because Charles is very clear. He doesn't want his son constantly tied up in the court, constantly taking the British government to court, constantly taking the British media to the court. That doesn't work for the monarch. But at the end of the day, I think Harry is going to put his delusions of securing wins above whatever his father thinks, because he's already proven he doesn't give a damn what Charles thinks, which is why I think Charles is so stupid to continue to pursue these peace claims. But when you look at it, Brittany, the case against the son and Murdoch ended in disaster for Harry, no matter how he tries to spin it, because he had to settle. It was, I'm going to go to court no matter what. And then what happened at the last minute? He settled. It was all about the money, not about the principles. Do you think he's just wanting to actually secure the same thing here?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility, Dan. Harry is just pursuing these cases, I think, thinking he's going to get a windfall at some point, and that's just never ever been what's happened in these situations. But you look at Harry and he just wants, I think, a win. He wants to get one over on the press. He hates the press so much, yet simultaneously uses them to try to push his agenda. He's a complete and utter hypocrite. If Harry really was truthful in his desire to, let's say, tank the British media or not be a huge fixture in the media in the first place. He could live a private life if he wanted to. He chooses to live a public life. He chooses to generate headlines. He fuels these headlines constantly. And he is pursuing these legal cases out of this personal vendetta that is just there to make his lawyers richer. At the end of the day, the only person ever seeming to win in Harry's court cases are his lawyers, and that's it. That's it. Harry is not winning in any of these. He loses most of them or he settles because there's no other option on the table for him. And he's just going to continue to pursue these. And I guess if he wants to lose out on a bunch of money and make his wife angry, like that's Harry's prerogative. But it's the delusions and the narcissism and the ego fueling this. This is not logical. These are not logical cases. Most of this stuff has been settled for years. And so Harry is just beating a dead horse at this point.
He really is. He really is. And again, don't you think, Brittany? I mean, look, I don't want peace at all. I think I'm quite clear on that. I liked William's approach, which is that exile worked for the Duke of Windsor and Wallace Simpson, and exile, a long-term exile, will work for Harry and Meghan. That's where I'm at now. Some people might think it's harsh, although I actually believe the vast majority of the British public, the vast majority of monarchists and royalists around the world agree with me. I think Harry deserves permanent exile from the royal family. But if King Charles is intent on some type of peace deal, surely there have to be, Brittany, some hard and fast demands of Prince Harry. And one of those demands should be dropping all of the legal cases, because these legal cases continue to embarrass the royal family and they continue to undermine the British monarchy, because there's no way the British monarchy should be involved in attempts to shut down freedom of the press. It just doesn't work. Just like there's no way that a member of the royal family should be taking to court His Majesty's government. And so it's a bit like Charles. Surely there have to be some bottom lines here from a peace summit. But first, you know I never recommend anything unless I truly believe in it. And today I've got something game-changing for you. Have you ever stopped to think about how crucial comfort is down there? Well, let me tell you, today's Outspoken proudly sponsored by Sheath Underwear, the revolutionary brand shaking up men's comfort around the globe. And do you know what I love about Sheath? It was founded by a US Army veteran, Robert Patton, great man. And he thought all about this when he was serving in Iraq back in 2007. So this isn't just any underwear brand. Sheath was designed for the toughest conditions imaginable. Patton was battling relentless heat and discomfort in full combat gear, and he thought there has to be a better way, so he created it. And let's be honest, traditional underwear just doesn't cut it anymore. Sheath's innovative dual pouch design ensures your comfort all day long, keeping things separate, cool, and fresh. Imagine your essentials being comfortably cradled away from unwanted friction and heat. Trust me, it's genuinely transformative. I love Sheath. At the gym, on long days at work, even just relaxing at home. I'm telling you, once you've experienced Sheath underwear, there is simply no turning back. They're stylish, they're supportive, and they deliver unmatched comfort. It's like upgrading from economy to first class, but for your underwear. And right now, I'm offering you an exclusive 20% discount at www.sheath.com. That's SHEATH.com. That's 20% off your entire order when you use my special promo code Outspoken at checkout. So what are you waiting for? Sheath, by the way, perfect present. Are you looking for a last minute Father's Day gift? It really, really is good. And by the way, Sheath isn't just for blokes. Sheath is not just for blokes. You can see their incredible female versions as well. And you can see some of them modeled here as well when I show you the picture of Sheath as the first official underwear brand of the UFC. So you can click on the link below, visit sheath.com, make sure you enter Outspoken at checkout, and thank me later when you're feeling comfortable, confident, and ready to tackle anything the day throws at you. Sheath underwear, redefining comfort one pair at a time. But now, back to the show.
Yes, I 100% agree. Harry should drop all these lawsuits. Again, much like Spare, Netflix, and everything, he's sort of airing his family's dirty laundry. And I think in some ways, actually, the true damage is to Harry's reputation, because almost every time he speaks, you realize how disconnected from reality the guy is and how much he lives in, I think, these fueled fantasies of being, at high risk and all these sorts of things. And it just doesn't benefit anyone to bring Harry really back into the fold beyond a just simply familial way. In terms of the working royal fold, if Harry has any desire to be part of that again, he needs to drop all these cases. He needs to do many, many things. Like, Charles should not just bend the knee here to Harry, because again, Harry is going to walk all over him and just be as bad as he was before, if not worse. Harry needs to be, if he's somehow getting back, must be drawn into line. And I think William does have the right idea here. Harry and Meghan have made their choices, and William has said he's willing to remove the titles or willing to figure out how to, remove the HRHs and stuff. And that's what Charles should be doing. Charles should not leave this mess to his son. And I feel like that's what exactly he's doing to William.
I know, and we know Charles isn't even comprehending that now, isn't even putting that on the table. It's like, exile is the answer. I could not be any more clear. No one wants Harry back in the United Kingdom. There's no public demand for this. There's no particular desire for Archie or Lily or to take any type of role. It's just lunacy. It's utter lunacy on the part of Charles. I also have to say, Brittany, have the Sussex squad not just proven themselves to be monsters over the past little while? And we saw it again at Wimbledon. at the weekend with one of these very, very nasty members of the Sussex squad. I'll show you her picture and her banner on X. She's called Judy Inder Richmond, and apparently she's quite a prominent member of the Sussex squad. And she's had a particular issue with Camilla Tominey for some time. I saw her a few months ago criticising for Camilla Tominey, for example, for naming her son Harry and suggesting that Camilla Tominey, I don't even know, by the way, if Camilla Tominey's son is called Harry. I'm not a particular fan of Camilla Tominey, but even if she had called her son Harry, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's because she's obsessed with Prince Harry by any means. Anyway, Judy Inder Richmond, member of the Sussex squad, ended up sitting behind Camilla Tominey at Wimbledon. And she posted on X, sat behind Camilla Tominey, "Don't worry, Sussex squad. I mentioned I was a Harry and Meghan fan and that she blocked me on Twitter for calling her a wanker." Camilla Tominey, though, wasn't putting up with this, and good on her for this. She went public on X saying, "You were rude and obnoxious and annoyed everyone sitting in our area with your drunken screaming and shouting. Try laying off the sauce and showing some self-awareness next time you're in public, you vile troll." And actually, Camilla knows a lot about bad drunken behavior because she's been very public about the fact that her mother was an alcoholic. I believe it was her mother, one of her parents. Yeah, believe it was her mother. And she is teetotal. And Chris Rose added, "This is weird, pathetic, and childish behavior from Judy. Grow up." And I just thought, I mean, obviously, we saw those incredible scenes of William and Catherine and the children at Wimbledon, and it was such a positive event. And I just thought how revolting that we now actually have the Sussex squad taking some of their cavalier, totally out of control behavior online and bringing it into the real world, Brittany. There was no place for Sussex squad bullying at Wimbledon. Shame on them and good on Camilla Tominey for calling them out.
Yes, absolutely. It does worry, worries me sometimes, the Sussex squad, because it's like if I was to meet Harry and Meghan in public somewhere, I would be absolutely polite to them as I would be to anyone, because that's what you do in polite society. You can criticize somebody, but you can still be kind to them. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to be rude and obnoxious. And I think a Sussex squad member, self-described, doing that to Camilla in public just shows how immature Meghan's audience is, that she kind of attracts people who I think behave in a way that is less than classy. The classy thing to do would be if you don't really have anything nice to say, don't really say anything at all. There was no need for that. You're at an event completely separate from the royals in many ways. Yes, they're there, but this is a tennis event. No reason to get nasty in that situation. And I think Camilla definitely did kind of fight back a bit, which I think was really great. But if you look through the comments, because I saw the same story as well on Judy's profile, and some of her responses to people criticizing her, or, some people even agreed and said, good thing you didn't pop the cork close to Catherine or William or something to that effect. I can't quite remember the scenario, so you'll have to excuse me. But the Sussex squad, some of them were cheering her on. And it's like, we should be able to disagree and yet be polite to each other in public. That should be totally how things go. But some people want to take this into the real world and not leave it in the digital space. And that definitely that idea can get a little scary depending on who that person is.
Totally. And again, you know what won't happen, Brittany? We won't hear a word from Meghan and Harry on this.
Yep.
The Sussexes should say no. No, you do not attack a journalist in public and remain one of our supporters. But they won't, because they have never called out the Sussex squad, which, as you know from my exposés over the past year, are the biggest gang of internet trolls in online history. And not once have Harry and Meghan distanced themselves from it, distance themselves from Christopher Boozy. I think they are disgusting. And the fact that they're taking this offline, bringing it into the real world is terrifying, and shame on Harry and Meghan for not calling it out. Brittany, on a much more positive note, people were getting quite hot under the collar, actually, about Prince William at the polo. What did you make of this?
Oh man, I thought that was sort of funny that people, I mean, it's so fun to see, I think, polo, especially with the setting of Windsor Castle in the background. But William is definitely a man who keeps in shape, and he is obviously riding his polo pony and doing a great job at the games. So I didn't quite get into all the hot under the collar action there, but I think William obviously still attracts a lot of attention, and much of it is very positive.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was quite a weekend for the family, wasn't it? Because people were saying,
Mhm.
well, you've got William at the polo, you've got the kids at Wimbledon. And I think definitely, I mean, he's a bit of inspiration for me. We're pretty much exactly the same age, William and me. And I'm definitely like, gosh, I've got to get back into shape, got to get back into shape. And he's definitely done it. So well done, William. I'm just a little bit jealous on that front. Brittany, of course, so cringe. The as ever or was never, as Lady Colin Campbell calls it, wine has been sent out. And of course, last week we spoke about the fact that it's gone to a whole load of people who just know that they have to be positive about Meghan Markle, like
Mhm.
in Style magazine. But I think the most cringeworthy taste test I have ever seen in my life was from People magazine. And we know People magazine have been propagandists for Meghan now for some time. She gave the cover interview, didn't she? And
Mhm.
they have to be on side. But it was Nancy Sidley who pointed this out to me, and she wrote, big shocker, People magazine loves Meghan's toilet wine, but their faces after tasting it gives a completely different story. So I was like, oh, okay, I want to see this now. I want to see this because I looked at it and I was like, yeah, they look like they've just drunk toilet water. They really, really do. They don't look like they're enjoying this wine. So, Brittany, I did track down the People magazine taste test video, and Nancy Sidley is totally right. What these people were saying from their mouths were not what their taste buds were telling them. Watch.
Would drink this summer. Ideally not at 11 a.m. like it is right now.
Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex's new rosé is here, and we're giving it a try with People's 5-second taste test. It's pretty light, and it's not too sweet.
Damn,
I'd get a
the same
bottle.
phrase.
Oh, she does not look like she likes
Tastes
it.
like all rosés, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, hey, if you love rosé, this will be great for you.
And it's actually 10 out of 10. Go Meghan. Go Meghan. You go, girl.
Okay, Meghan. It's very
She looks
light
like she
and
likes it.
crispy. It's
Another beer.
perfect for like a beach day. Give me some sun and it's delicious. It's really good.
Oh, it's good. I think this is perfect, like, get a drink with a coworker or a friend.
It's brunch time. Oh, I like it. I will drink this. Cheers.
There were a lot of convenient cuts there. Did you see that,
Yes.
Brittany? Like cuts
Yes.
at the exact moment that they tasted. I'm like, I want to see the unedited version. I'm sorry, Brittany. That was the least convincing taste test I think I've ever seen.
Yes. The cuts right there, they cut right after the initial sip. And so it's like that is the key reaction. I have a whole review of Megan's As Ever products on my page, and I tasted the peppermint tea, and I had a severe reaction to her peppermint tea. It was the most awful thing I think I've ever tasted. I said it tastes like toothpaste, which
Did
it
it make
kind of
you
did.
sick?
Megan's. Oh. Ah. Ah. Bad. That's bad. Oh yeah, it was like that was my face. It was just really, really gross. And so it's like if they're cutting right there, that would be like me tasting the tea, cutting it at my initial reaction, which was like blah, and then cutting back in when and me saying something nice. So I think they're reaching there. We've heard from other reviewers that it's sort of acidic and leaves an aftertaste, I think is what the Daily Mail said. So when it comes to the taste test, I would go with the Daily Mail. I'll be doing my own taste test here with the wine whenever I get it.
So
It's
yours
being
hasn't even
shipped, but of
arrived
course-
yet?
No, no, no. It's
Oh my
been 14 days since I ordered it.
Okay, Brittany, I
And-
can't
and-
wait. You've got, as soon as that's up, you've got to send it to me.
Yes, I will.
And of course, if you do want to see that first, make sure you subscribe to the Royal News Network on YouTube. Brittany, thank you so much. And of course, if you do want first access to the Royal Uncancelled After Show here on Outspoken, all you have to do is sign up to our Substack, www.outspoken.live, with a monthly paid subscription. You get completely ad-free coverage of the Royals, and you get it first. You get it either live or on demand. And of course, we cover all of the stories that the Royal Rota simply refuses to every single weekday. So please do sign up, www.outspoken.live. Substack, such an important platform for me because it's free speech focused. I'm protected from lawfare there. So I would very, very much appreciate it.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.